Yes.
Okay.
Israel's committed, so many terrorist attacks. They're stealing land right now. They're operating apartheid. They're currently committing a genocide on Palestinians. Like, do you believe in the genocide they're committing?
I think they're fighting for themselves and they're defending themselves.
Do you think that's defense?
Well,
when 1,200 people died, and of which the 1,200 you've killed and admitted that you've killed a lot during, your Hannibal.
I will tell you this. I question where people who are Jewish can't stand when I say this. I don't know how you, Netanyahu, claim you have the best intelligence in the world, Mossad, and you didn't know that on October 7th they're attacking.
They knew about it. They didn't. They wanted it to happen, so they had a reason to take that. Yeah, they wanted a reason to take the land.
I totally get it.
And they killed their own citizens. And they claimed that all these people that was bull. They claimed beheaded babies. That was bull. Everything that they said was a complete. Not only was it a lie, but they committed all those atrocities themselves to the Palestinians and been caught doing it. In fact, they just got caught gang Palestinians. How many babies have they killed? All the things that they accuse the Palestinians of, or Hamas of, or whatever, they are guilty of 100-fold themselves. And they've been doing that. Like, October 7th wasn't the start of this. Like, the start of this was Nakba. They've done so many different.
Disagree. Yeah, I don't disagree.
Yeah, so I mean, this is not like, it's not like October 7th is like, it's all of a sudden they just came over there unsolicited and just killed people. Like, they have been killing Palestinians for years and years, operating two sets of justice. It's like they have the justice.
I don't know what is going on, okay? I don't understand what is happening where this goddamn manlet demon is spitting hot fire. And I think the reason why is because he's Armenian. The fact that he's Armenian and Israel has armed Azerbaijan against Armenia, and Armenians are like already pretty tuned towards genocide in the region for obvious reasons. So I think that that has to play a role here, because there is no way. Yeah, he's that, or he's been possessed by the ghost of Noam Chomsky, who isn't even dead. So obviously it's probably the first thing and not the other.
For the Palestinians, the justice for the Israelis. And if you read the Talmud, like, if you're basically not a human, you're like, like cattle. If a Jew is killed by, somebody that's not Jewish, then it's the death penalty. If a Jew kills somebody that's not a Jew, then, you can't kill them. It's not the death penalty. Like, they literally like segregate in their Bible.
They're very protective of.
God damn it, dude. I spoke way too soon, okay? I literally paused it right up until the moment where this mother starts talking about the Talmud and shit like that, okay? Well, there you go. He's not been taken over by the ghost of Noam Chomsky. Okay, maybe it's the third thing, okay? Maybe it's the third thing. I was wrong, okay? Especially because, yeah, there's no relevance to the Talmud when you're talking about Israel, okay? Get out of here. That's number one. Number two, there are literally so many things that you can actually point to in terms of like Israel being a apartheid state and having two different tiers for how to deal with Palestinians and how to deal with its own Jewish population versus its own non-Jewish population. Like, there are so many things that are literally right there for you to point to. So when you have all of that, but then you turn around and you start talking about like the Talmud as a point of reference, it's like, oh God, how are you so close? And then you just like immediately pivot. What is really sad, maybe a little scary actually, about this kind of thing is that I am always very fearful. I'm always very fearful that like an anti-Semitic, anti-Israel way of arguing is significantly easier for like the dumbest people to understand than the actual anti-Zionist argument from a materialist point of view. This is proof you don't pre-watch. Yeah, I thought the exact same thing, but he's essentially saying anyone being chosen automatically creates an environment where others are dehumanized.
themselves. I don't think anybody can debate that. I don't think it's a
well. It's not the problem isn't that they're protecting themselves. The problem comes when you think that you're better than other people, and you think it's okay to lie to anybody that's not a Jew. You think it's okay to steal from people that are not a Jew. You have two sets of standards. The problem with that is it allows you to rationalize anything, right? And human beings are generally self-serving creatures. So if your fundamental religious belief system allows you to operate in such a way that you believe there isn't consequences to stealing from other people, killing other people, kids that are under 9 years old.
The irony of this kind of argument is that it's still like fascist thinking. So you end up doing the exact same thing that you're claiming Israel is doing. Like, oh, they have like supremacist attitudes. These Jews have supremacist attitudes. Okay, well, now you just did the same thing. Okay, you literally did the same thing, but towards Jewish people across the board that you're claiming Jewish people are doing to others. Okay, it's so stupid. Like it literally. That's why I always say that, like, it's just pure fascism, right? It's fascism on the Nazi side. It's fascism on the ultra-Zionist side. It's the exact same two sides of the coin. It's just that, like, the in-group is different. Okay? That's it. The in-group and the out-group are different. That's the only difference. Other than that, it's still obviously ethnic superiority being reinstilled. It's everyone that is an enemy of your, anyone that is an enemy, anyone that's in the out-group is like constantly a shadowy figure that is both simultaneously weak and also strong, and manipulating every part of society. Like, one of the funniest parts about Israeli narratives, like ultra-Zionist nationalist narratives, that I find hilarious, ironic, scary, sad, but also hilarious, is that literally every single Israeli official unironically does Nazi propaganda about Palestinians, where they'll be like every single thing that Nazis have said about Jews, they say about Arabs, where they literally will be like, oh, the entire world is actually hypnotized by the Arabs, and they always are like, too focused on the Palestinian plight, like they're doing this to themselves, and nobody understands that. It's like bar for bar identical. Okay, it's also additionally hilarious because, like, what Arab lobby exists that isn't, pro-Israel, like Saudis? what actual like power or political power or any kind of impression that, like, the people who have withstood basically genocide for at least the past century now, what kind of motion they have in the Western world? Have you seen this polling on Kamala's chances of winning if she stops weapon shipments to Israel? You've been saying this for weeks. I know. I have been. I know. And I'm right.